everyone, welcome back on Gayatri's English Hub. I am back with another beautiful conversation with an IT profession. I'll not tell you much about him. I want him to tell us about him, what he does, what inspires him, and whatever we can know. But I'm here back with the conversation, and I hope you enjoy this. If you want to connect to me for group classes or any conversation for YouTube as well, if you are the one who is interested to talk on various topics, do reach me out. You can email me, you can reach out to me on Instagram or Telegram. Thank you. Thank you for listening. So, yeah,
Hi, Gayatri. I'm doing absolutely great connecting with you. It's been
mhm,
a fantastic day so far, enjoying every bit of it.
great.
And hope the same there. Summer here I'm from Tamil Nadu, so summer here is, you don't need to, even out. It's pretty much like a scorching heat out here.
Mhm.
What about your place? How things are? Because weather plays a big part when it comes to mood swing. So,
Same here. I mean that has been quite disturbing for a few days. But before we discuss about all this, I really want you to introduce to my audience. That will help all of us to know more about you. So yeah.
yeah, it's fantastic. I'm Arun Kumar. I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Hmm.
I live born and brought up in Tiruvannamalai, which is a temple town famous for Lord Shiva. Here in my hometown, on full moon days, it's always bursting at the seams. So you will hardly find an inch to move, kind of. It's a beautiful place in summer. And I have more than 11 years of experience in investment banking, backend operations. I've worked in a few companies like HCL, Wipro, Deutsche Bank, a few. So on personal front, I'm a bibliomaniac. I love reading books a lot, and at times I usually write also in the mornings. Not more into journaling type, but I jot down key points from whatever I consume with the listening and reading. And I love telling people stories because stories always excite people. And I'm a more fun-loving person. I always want to ensure whenever I am there, there was never a dull moment. So filled with a lot of laughter. So that's about me. It's a bit about me.
I mean that's really good to know about you. You have rich experience in profession, plus being a bibliophile, you must have read so many things so far. And so we would definitely like to talk about everything, right? Being a reader to a storyteller to a writer. Like I'll ask you or I'll put up few questions. So are you ready for
Yeah,
that?
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure
great.
to be with a person who's already having a bunch of talent. So it's better
Great.
to,
Thank you so much. So I'll categorize this conversation in different parts. To be honest, you said one thing, investment banking, something like that, if I'm not wrong. Right? So this is the area which interests me a lot as a person. Like I don't know about others, but finances is something it attracts me. Like I make whatever is small amount or whatever I do, it's just like I love playing with that amount and I love thinking and contemplating that how we can play with this energy. So I want to know as a person who has spent like somewhere around 11 years in investment banking, what is this? Let's go with that. What is this? So people can get educated.
no, I got your question, but I worked primarily in the back end of the operations where we
Okay.
deal, yeah, where we deal with transaction processing. Most
Mm-hmm.
of the time, we will do a postmortem, like the transactions would have happened already. We need to
Mm-hmm.
investigate the transactions happened or no, genuinely been put in place. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to do all the investigations and then report it to the top management on exactly exact findings that we come up with. It's nothing to do with a direct investment advising the clients to work on their portfolios. It's pretty much into investigation part of it.
Technical part of that procession and transactions. Like generally, it happens like whenever we make any transaction, it gets stuck and it takes like 3 working days, 4 working days, and there are people behind who are investigating and just dealing and
Yeah.
coping up with these problems. Okay, got it. I somehow took it wrong. I thought that you are someone who has been dealing directly in investment, so I thought of taking it in that way.
That's fair enough. When the word you hear the word investment, automatically it drives you to, a part of investment strategies. That's fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, great. So we'll start with the next question then. Then how did you develop interest and what intrigued you about books?
Sorry, I lost you a bit.
I'm
Sorry.
asking that what intrigued you about books? When did you start your journey of reading?
Books I've been reading almost for past 3 decades.
Mm-hmm.
Books, are the best companions. I always feel whenever you feel down and out, I always enjoy the bliss of solitude whenever I'm with books.
Mm-hmm.
Books give you the wealth of knowledge. You don't need to depend on someone to know each and everything because books is all about written by someone sharing their
Mm-hmm.
real life experiences, right? Right from my childhood, we always been conditioned in such a way that we learn so many things from others' experience. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what always I consider books as the best companion, and more importantly, they are like treasures. You can create so many things out of reading a book. Reading a book
Mm-hmm.
is not just about scrolling through the pages, it's much more than that. The smell of holding a physical book right in front of you first thing in the morning, it's pretty much like a coffee brewing, having a cup of coffee. It's almost equal to that. So, books, I cannot survive without reading books every day. That's to
Oh,
me.
that's really amazing. This fast-paced generation, I think they somehow struggle to have that patience and reading a book these days. They are more of getting some quick gratification and kind of, result, instant gratification where they do not hold books. And even if they do, so it's like being a little bit cool about few specific books and their names and just keep talking about those books only, not even exploring, not even getting into deeper side of literature and reading. You said that you cannot survive without books. And then you see this generation, the present generation, the young minds, right?
Mhm.
They read books. They generally go for very modern suggestions. They just pick a book and then everyone will talk about that book on internet. So what do you think about this culture? Not exploring literature, but just boasting literature or only few works of modern writer. They keep boasting that side of literature or reading.
Oh, okay. You mean to say that they're just, reading few books and boasting that they are not
Yeah.
more into books? Yeah, it totally depends on the interest that you read the books with. For example,
Mhm.
if I read one book, if there are 10 chapters in that book, I would start reading that book with a mindset of at least I should be able to implement one particular takeaway from that book. Otherwise,
Mhm.
no point reading that book till the end.
Mhm.
That should be the mindset. But these days, you see, reading books has to it's an inbuilt thing. Okay, it's really not cannot be taught. You got to
Mhm.
develop the passion to read with a mindset that you want to learn something. I always read books in such a way that within certain period of time, whatever I read, I should be able to share with people the essence of what I read. So that is
Mhm.
how it should be. This culture should change. You are right. Absolutely, you are right. It's not about boasting because at the end of the day, you're boasting not going to serve you anything, right?
Mhm.
You're
Yeah,
not
that's
creating value for yourself or not creating value for others also. So it's a matter of wasting your time on just scrolling through the pages.
great. So would you share or tell few works or few books which you have read and they have somehow pivoted the way you see life, or maybe they have impacted you so much, the way you think or anything.
Yeah, most of the books I read are pretty much like life lessons
Mm-hmm.
because every day we wake up, 9 out of 10 times we wake up every day thinking about the problems, right? Even if it is not there, we make it blow out of proportion, thinking that we catastrophizing things for no reason, right? I really feel that I'm totally impacted by the books I read. It taught me so many things like how to remain calm and composed when you're up against something which you have never expected. It's
Mm-hmm.
really important how you handle things because when you approach a problem, for example, I tell you a story. Like we always look at problem with a binocular view, right? When you facing your own problem, you always look at them with a binocular view, sir. That actually nullifies you the option of looking at possible solutions around the problem itself. So what you got to do when you're dealing with problem, first thing you got to keep in mind, keep the line, you are not alone. If you have that mindset, you will not be emotionally stuck and it will help you to gain composure to handle the problem, right? That's the best way to handle it. So how to handle problem or crisis, all I learned from books only. So books really impacted me in so many ways, and this is the major impact I get.
Oh, that's very amazing. So do you have any categories which you love the most, or any genre of the books? Like for example, people love these days self-help books, self-improvement, self-development, these books, like, or maybe literature, comic, horror. There are different genres which people keep talking about. So which is your favorite genre, and why? Why do you like that?
Yeah, I always prefer reading books related to conflict management, human behavior, mostly into because they are all real life. It will give you real life exposure. It's
Mm-hmm.
no point just reading self-help books. Just no, you don't need motivation if you are acting on your own, right? It's not just about reading pages. I'm trying to. It's all about reacting to, not reacting, responding to situations.
Yeah.
So, what you all need is not motivation alone. You need a
Mm-hmm.
real life experience. So, it's all about taking important inputs from those books, which actually gives you problem solving ability.
Ah, that's really great. So, like, sir, what happens at times, when I read something, I read it. Generally, I put up few questions after reading any book or any chapter, and then I ask myself, what did I learn? Yeah,
I lost a bit. Can you just come again? Sorry.
sure, sure, no worries, I will repeat. So, whenever I read any book, I generally put a few questions after reading that. What did I learn? What can I really get out of this book? Or maybe a few vocabulary of a few good words, phrases, whatever. But then these days, what happens is just like people read for the sake of reading. They forget to take something out of that. They forget to take, or they, even if they take it, they are not able to implement, right? So, for example, books on human behavior. So they talk about a bit fallacies, if you know, biases, fallacies, right? There are different fallacies and biases. But in
Mhm.
real life, if you know that that the kind of that fallacies is being used here, or maybe kind of biases, this is the bias nature or this is the fallacy, but then you are not able to tell it. Or even if you know that you yourself have few things which you have to work after reading the books on human behavior, so you understand these are the traits of a person who is angry. But then even after acknowledging that, even after getting it, you are not able to change, you are not able to implement on your own life. But then we go out and we tell it that I read something like that, and then we start giving that knowledge to someone else, then applying on our behavior, and then somehow understanding that. So what do you take on this, and how do you take it? How do you pick the learnings and consciously apply on your life?
See, it's again totally depends on these are all situational aspects,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why I use the word specifically respond.
Mm-hmm.
People often react to situations rather than responding. There's a big yawning gap between reaction and response, right? So it's not just about reading from books. You need to implement all those steps. Books are just driving force you to understand how to respond. But again, you got to analyze it. Take yourself some time to think and respond. It's nothing to do with books alone. Books alone can't give you everything. You
Mm-hmm.
need to, that's why I use the word human behavior. Yeah, there are so many aspects, but everything you can't put into place, right? But I'm
Yeah.
totally with you on this that, just simply reading and forgetting it for the sake of reading, it's not good.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
always,
we consciously learn something.
yeah, but it's always easy to, just to use your propaganda to read this, that suggestion is easy to do. But you
Yeah.
got to tell, see, if I approach you for something, why am I approaching the purpose? What's the purpose? You need to understand why people are approaching you. You should be able to answer their whiffum. You know whiffum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when someone approaching you for something, they are seeking some beneficial information, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not that every connection that you make is not just for the fun,
Okay.
right? So people here are more materialistic and they want to acquire as much information as possible to make their life better, right? So it's all about understanding the wisdom part of each and everyone we connect with. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to say. And we will be able to easily provide them the solutions.
Hmm. I mean, that's really
Yeah,
great. And as I've been listening to you, I've been gathering few good words. And this conversation, I myself will watch multiple times to understand that what you are trying to say, because you have been reading for a good time. You have had that experience, right? And you are conveying that experience to us. So that is really amazing. And I'll definitely watch it to learn good words.
absolutely. That's why experience always matters a lot.
Hmm.
Exuberance of youth is something different. The amount of experience that you get when mixed with exuberance, it makes a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
That's really great. So, you connected me on email for the conversation. So, what really
Sorry.
inspired? I'm saying that you connected me on email for conversation.
Yeah,
Where all did happen? I mean, how did you take it, and how this video popped up? How it happened?
yeah. Okay, fine. I always approach people just having one thing in mind. It should be at least 1% value you should be able to give your audience. Regardless of whatever industry you are in, it doesn't matter. As long as your aim is to give value to your audience. I found something interesting in you. I watched a few video of yours.
Mm-hmm.
So I got impressed. It's better to have some, get in touch with you to gain some knowledge from you, to learn a lot from you. So that really inspired me. I decided once I decided to retreat is not in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided that okay, at any cost. But that's why this thing happened. It took the other side. You took it like impassion. It's not about impassions. It's about intriguing
Mm-hmm.
as connecting with you.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
a
it's.
bit. I'm also a bit like you. I'm more particular about commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Totally, because each and everybody's time is so precious, right?
Mm. Yeah.
That's where you can create value. Time is the currency you cannot trade off with anything.
Yeah, this is really true. Yeah, no, actually, it's not about impression as well. It's about what you provide to the people outside and how do they understand. But somehow I could not come across any of your videos on YouTube. So did you have conversation with YouTubers?
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm connecting with very few people right now. I'm planning to kickstart my own. So hopefully in near future, I'll be connecting with people like you, who,
Yeah.
whom I need unconditional love and support, like what you're getting. But my purpose is not to kind of, I'm not worried about monetization or as such. But
Mm-hmm.
what I really want to see in me is how people accept me as a value creator on YouTube rather than a content creator.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I also want to develop a community with like-minded people and make my connections more meaningful to
Mm-hmm.
last long. What I'm trying to work out, at least for the next 6 months when I start.
Ah, that's really great. Yeah, definitely you must connect to the people who are they are upfront, right? They are on YouTube, and once you are there on their channel, people will definitely take and understand and they'll embrace. Definitely, they need people who can come and can create values in their lives and can pass the values whatever they have had so far in their lives. And I think that will be a great initiative of yours, right?
Of course,
Great.
we all have that dreadful feeling of fear of getting started, right?
Hmm.
But it's all about gaining momentum. I always believe in one thing: start small, progress gradually, gain
Hmm.
momentum, build confidence, stay consistent. It's a process to follow. Most of the times we fail is simply not following the process.
Hmm.
So it's following the process. People, the reason why YouTubers quit too early is just the reason they always focus on views, subscribers. To me, I don't want to focus on that part. It will automatically happen once you start creating value.
Hmm. I think it is pretty human because when people come on YouTube, I think very less number of portion of this community will be more about that they don't care about views and things. They care more about they are like it's okay. We want to create values. We want to transfer our learnings to other participants or the individuals out there. However, like 90% of the case is not the same. People come here for different mindset and they, especially when they get to know that YouTube pays, right? So they do come with that expectation and that hope that their channel will be monetized and they'll get some money. However, this is not the reality. The people who are in that, they know how it works, how it takes a lot of time to get whatever money and whatever we can say. So yeah, but if you are one of those 1 or 10% people who want to create values, then focusing on getting fame, name, that's really great of you. Yeah. So may
See,
I, yeah.
see, it's really important. First, you need to be quite clear on your purpose,
Hmm.
right? You got to be upfront on your purpose. You need to create an authenticity with your audience. You don't. Recently, I watched your video with Ram, right? I remember.
Hmm.
I think you would have conversed with him a month back, I believe. But wherein Ram, you remember,
Yeah, a
he's
week
from
ago. A week ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In that video, he beautifully articulated on things like how to create your rapport with your audience. It's not just about showing off. I'm not here to flex my muscles. It's all about building meaningful conversation. It's all about building, help them build their skills. That's what people
Hmm.
are here for, right?
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, fortunately in India, 90% of people who want to explore this beautiful language are beginners. So it's easy for people to educate them. In fact, I one thing which really I admired in people, even they are if they are intermediates, they show the courage. They least bother about whatever little knowledge or they have, but still they put in their heart and soul into it, with a
Hmm.
lot of courage, confidence, and they come up with consistency to teach the beginners. One way, it's really good to see, these youngsters coming up with a lot of effort. That's what I
Hmm.
really admire. That's the thing pushing me to take up that role as well. But I'm not sure how I can match up with. I'm not here, like I said, I'm not here to flex my muscle. I
Hmm.
just want to embrace the beauty of this platform.
Hmm. That's really great. So nice to chat with you. Do you have any questions for me? Do you want to ask anything?
Matter of fact, the whole session you asked me questions. I actually came to this session with a mindset of knowing your journey. Okay, you can you just put it in a nutshell? What prompted you to take up this journey? Do you consider this as a long-term goal, or you can just put it in a nutshell?
Yeah, so I'll categorize it. So first of all, what prompted me is like it was lockdown when I didn't have anything. I come from vernacular medium, it's Hindi medium. I'm from UP, west part of UP. So Somehow I had watched a video on YouTube years back when I was in my, I think, somewhere around 10th standard. That video hooked me. And after a year, again, I got fond of my father. Then I used to watch a lot of videos on YouTube. English is something which, I don't know, consciously, subconsciously, it attracted me. And I used to love people who would talk in English. That happened. After 12, everyone was at home. I was graduation first year student. I had to take my exams. Suddenly, lockdown happened. I was caged. There, I started my journey consciously working on my communication skill. So that lockdown prompted me to utilize my time, and that was the only period I somehow polished and brushed up my skills. So that is all about my skill. Plus, do I see it as long term? No, I don't see English as my long term journey. I mean, English could be, yes, I might be a trainer, or I would love to diversify my personality. I would love to be more versatile. That is something which I'm looking for, because I have been training people for almost 4 years now, officially and unofficially. I've been training them for 4 years, and that is something I feel that fine. I would love to train people for 1 or 2 more years, but then I want to see the different dimensions of life. I am also very much interested in human behavior. I would love to take a few more fields and then would love to continue with that as well. I would be lifelong teacher. Teaching is something which is my passion, so I see this as long-term side of mine, but not English. So things could be different.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty much visible that you have it in you to be a teacher for long.
Mhm.
But one question I want to ask you. Okay, you being a mentor yourself, right? Okay, put it that way. Do you really think people these days, just for the sake of getting mentored, they are finding mentors who are not accessible? You got my point?
So accessible
Okay,
in, it could be
let me put
financial.
this,
Mhm.
yeah, let me put my question this way. Whenever, for example, you know your area of interest, it's always
Mhm.
better to find a mentor in your area of interest to help you guide towards excellence, right?
Mhm.
But when you decide on your mentor, I feel they should be accessible. For example, if I want to be a motivational speaker, okay, I can just watch speakers like Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, and get motivated. That's it. It's a passive motivation.
Mhm.
So, what I'm trying to say, when you find a mentor, they should be accessible, they should be in a position to respond you to guide to excellence. What's your take on that? When you're finding a mentor, what would you say people to know how to find a mentor?
Uh, yes, I understand this side. Okay, I'll tell you a story here. I will not take the brand name. I was working for that brand, okay, and I started official journey of mine with that so and so XYZ brand. Now so there is a lady on YouTube, and she has a big channel. She is the face of that YouTube, right?
Okay.
Now, people who come, they have expectations that she will be the one who will train us, right? However,
Mhm.
this is not possible. So it's people feel that the person who is here is the only right person to guide them and train them, which is
Okay.
not possible. We have to understand this. The more popular people get, the less accessible they are, which is really
Correct.
true, right? Tony Robbins cannot give you time. His minute, an hour, 1 hour can cost you lakh. I know, I have researched on him. Then there is one person, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I follow him a lot for mental things, and I have watched few of his videos on YouTube of emotional retreat and something like that. You cannot expect those people, as they are getting popular, their demand is increasing, right? And they have very limited time, 24 hours, and they have to see where they can get more benefits. They cannot individually train you. So what people can do, just they have to trust beginners. I mean, beginners in the sense that the people who are skilled and they are accessible to you, but they don't have name and fame. So do not run behind name and fame, right? Just
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm perfectly with you. That's why I always say when you are trying to find a mentor, find someone who is just less than 1 year ahead of you
Mm-hmm.
so that they can invest in you. For them also it's a learning curve. They'll be
Yeah.
more interested to mentor you, to share their
Okay.
knowledge, right?
Yes.
It's always tough to get trained by people who are 15 years ahead of you. Like you
Yeah.
said, they will not find time to teach you. In fact, they will not find any motivation as long as a bit of a monetary benefit involved in it,
Yeah.
because it's
This.
all about business for them. Totally understandable. So that's why
Yeah.
this question of people, often being misled by others, find a mentor just for the sake of learning from people. It's some kind of work. First, you need to understand what you're good at. Then you find someone close to you who is just ahead of you, so
Yeah.
that you can reach out to them for help. That will help. That will make sense.
Yeah.
Hope this question makes some sense for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. That does. Like people think that, oh, if so I am interested in so and so field, and then I reach out to an individual who is really successful, or I mean quite good in that field, established person. And if they do not get time from that person, if they do not get guidance, mentorship from that person, they get disheartened and they feel, oh, if he cannot coach me, nobody can do, nobody can do it in the world. No, this is not true, right? You can be your own coach. So I personally, because I am the one who also has interest in multiple fields, and as of now, I'm not looking for any mentor. I think YouTube is the best mentor in the world. It's just like learn, people are giving free values, learn something from here and apply it in your life. And if you get, at times it's not about even time restrictions. At times people have financial restrictions to get mentorship, right? They feel, oh, I don't have this much amount of money and I
But
cannot give it. Hmm.
uh, sorry to interrupt, really. But people need to understand one size doesn't fit all. So that's why I said you need to know what you're good at. Accordingly, you
Yeah,
should start working on things. Then you will see progress cannot happen overnight, right?
yeah,
Each and every see those who are on you homepage in YouTube have done so much over the years. It's not happened just like that.
yeah. This is
So
so
you
true.
got to give everything a time space. Okay, Gayatri, like you said, I think we are running out of time. I
Yeah,
really feel bad, leave this, wrap up this conversation, because you are a bundle of energy and information as well. So, and I can't thank you enough for the opportunity, despite so many things. But anyway, I will not leave people as such. I will keep pushing where I feel something interesting. So I will do that often with you as well. But when we both find time, it would be great if we can connect as often as possible to share your insights. That will help me a lot.
100%. I mean, you are the one who has been reading a lot of things. You come from a specific background. I would like you to share a few more details, right? If you could, then we can have one more session where we can sit, right? And just tell me what are the areas you want to throw light on and you want to guide people about, and we'll have many more conversations in upcoming conversations on diversified, topics and all. So, yeah, thank you so much, Arun sir, for joining me. I wish you all the very
Uh,
best.
when in case if you want to connect next time, you can come up with your own topic so that we can narrow down on that. So that will be more interesting for your audience as well. Should be beneficial.
100%. 100%. I'll
Thanks.
do that.
Thanks for the time, Gayatri. Thanks for the time.
Most welcome. All the best. Thank you.
Yeah.